are now plugged into Hooked on Science with Bruce and Tony Kong.
Go.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another fantastic episode of Hooked on Sonics. I am one of your hosts, Bruce, and over there is the Tone Capone. And we have some pretty cool albums for you guys this week. We are going to be reviewing Scarface, rapper from the 90s, his third album called The Diary, and then a little super group compilation from the early 70s with Howlin' Wolf, Eric Clapton, Steve Winwood, and the rhythm section of the Rolling Stones. Playing on that, the London Howlin' Wolf sessions. So, of course, music news. We got some drinks to go over and lots of debauchery. Before we get into all of it, we need to know, Tone, how are you?
Good evening. I am well. How are you, my friend?
Good, man. Good, good, good.
Good. Good. Just another day in the life, man. Here we go doing it. Here we go with another set of reviews, and
Here we go. Here we
hopefully
go.
got some good albums to give each other. And other than that, man, just working, doing the same thing you're doing, just working. Working on the weight loss. So you still on the downward spiral, or have you made?
So far, so good. So far, so good.
I went back up after cooking them pork butts I told you about on the last episode.
Mm-hmm.
Went back up about 4 pounds, but I shut it back off once we implemented my new game plan, which is we're going to stick to something around 1,200 calories
There you go.
a day. And if we fall under, great. We go a little over, oh well. As long as
Yeah.
we're not going extremely out of hand over. That's the big
Yep.
thing. You gotta watch that stuff, man. But I'm down 22 pounds still. Um, I'm looking to see. I'm hoping that by Friday I can be down, hopefully down to 325 from 350. It'd really be nice to be down to 320 for when I go back into my doctor's office visit next week.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Very cool. Yeah. I'm about at 20-ish, give or take a pound or two. And yeah, I feel a lot better and keep on keeping on.
Think about it, man. You just took off, or we both just kind of took off a bowling ball off
Mm-hmm.
of us. A bowling ball's worth of weight. Maybe a bowling ball and partial a bowling ball, depending on your bowling ball, 18, 16 ounces or whatever, you know,
They're pounds.
or 16 pounds, whatever.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, I got 2 bowling balls, so I'm not quite there yet.
Do you own a couple bowling balls?
Yeah, I'm part of the Lousy Bowlers League every Wednesday. So
Now, did you make an informed decision when you bought the bowling balls?
yeah, absolutely. I said, "Hey, buddy, what ball do I get?" He said, "Well, here's this." I'm like, "Oh, that's great. Here's the really good one." I seen $800. I'm like, "Okay, I'll go with that." So, yeah, I was very informed. I looked at my wallet.
Yeah. I don't
No,
know, man.
it's nice. It's scarlet and gray, and
How many seasons have you been doing the bowling tournament?
3. This
Yeah.
is third year.
Do you look forward to it?
Yeah, it's beer drinking league. Just have fun, but we want to win.
Cool, cool, cool.
Mm-hmm.
Ah. What are you drinking over there?
Well, let me tell you. We'll switch it up a little bit. We'll do drinks first. My buddy Alex over at work, he gave me this to try. It's 3 Floyds, Return of the Ancients. It's a Irish style red ale.
Okay. How many calories in that bad boy? Probably a ton.
I can't read it. But it is 6.5%.
Yes.
But yeah, So it's my one beer for the week.
That's funny. You're drinking Three Floyds.
Yeah.
Do you know what else they make?
Bunch of IPAs, don't they? Oh,
The,
wait, it was zombies shit.
the
Zombie
zombie
dust.
dust and the zombie
Zombie
ice.
ice.
Yeah.
Mhm.
They also do a Three Floyds Barbarian Ale or something like that,
Okay.
which is really really good. I like them. They're probably one of like there's only a handful of breweries that I really care for. Stone being number one. I
Yeah.
found out recently that I really like Rhine Geist. I do like some of the beers from Great Lakes.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, Elliot Ness is one of just a great beer, man. And their seasonal beers are amazing, like the Nosferatu and what's the other one? Lake Erie Monster,
Okay.
which is an Imperial IPA or a double, like maybe a double Imperial IPA. Amazing, amazing beers. And then Three Floyds hit my radar through a friend, and I really like them. Um, there's another one that I had a nut brown ale from that was absolutely amazing that my buddy Steve had brought, but I can't remember. I want to say it's seven something brewery, and I can't remember exactly where it was. But it was
Okay.
one of the most amazing brown ales I've ever had.
Nice. I think that's Seven Bells, isn't it? Is it Seven Bells?
It might have been. It
Yeah.
might have been. Yeah,
I think they're
amazing.
based out of Chicago.
It might have been, dude. I can't say for sure, but I know for a fact when he brought that over, man, it was one of the best nut brown ales I've had.
Yeah.
Um,
Nice.
yeah, but
Nice.
cool.
Yeah. So, this thing, I love red ales. I really enjoy Irish red ales. This is right up there with them. I'm going to give it a 4.8.
You and your freaking decimals. It's just the weird that you do it by the tenths. It's so weird.
Listen, I like everything, but a little bit of the aftertaste is not great, but
I get it.
so yeah, just a little ding.
I get it. I could drink a Three Floyds with you tonight, but
How
then
about that?
I would probably lose my calorie intake, and
Okay.
I'm at my max, maybe a little over for today by about 20 or 30. So I am going to go with this 20 calorie, 2.3 grams of carb Elvis alcohol free from Brewdog.
Nice.
Yes. And I'm telling you what, dude, when I'm dieting and I want a beer, I love these things, man.
Hmm.
I mean, I absolutely love these things. When they're mm. So I told you, I believe I've rated these all about a 4
Yep.
as far as the alcohol free lineup goes. Cheers to you folks tonight. Trust and believe Tony will be back to drinking, but when freaking bourbon's 95 calories a shot or tequila's 100 calories per shot, I just can't do it, man.
There you go.
I would rather have the beet chips than the beer or the bourbon.
There you go.
Cool. We've been
Well,
listening to this week, brother.
well, my friend, let me tell you. So, I stumbled across this band called the Tony Slug Experience. They've released 2 singles so far um, for an upcoming album. The last single that they just released was called Road Goat with Jello Biafra from Dead Kennedys. So really fun. And the other song that they have out, Wrecker Ball, dude, it's some cool punk stuff. Let's see. Then I also was listening to some Al Green, and of course I was today because of the sad news that Toby Keith had passed away. I was listening to some of Toby Keith's finest work.
I was going to mention that in the news.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I was going to mention that during the news, man. Did
Well,
you ever get to see Toby Keith?
No.
That's a bummer. I
Did
did.
you?
I
No.
did. Yeah, we actually drove down just into Kentucky to go see him.
Hmm.
Sella and Jacob got tickets for us, and well, they actually got them for Kate for her birthday, and we went down to Cincinnati and uh, Kentucky for the weekend and hung out there, drank some beers and partied in the hotel room, and just had a good time and went and seen Toby Keith and come back with a lot of bourbon. I think we visited Buffalo Trace while we were down there.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, it was. He's a hell of a show, absolute hell of a showman.
Yeah.
Probably, and once again, country is not my thing. We've discussed this before. It's just not my go-to music. My wife listens to it, and I'm okay with that. No big deal. But I go to concerts and be there to support her. And I'll tell you what, man, I've been to some good country concerts, dude. I got to see Garth Brooks. I got to see Toby Keith. I got to see I think Colin Ray back in the day.
Okay.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of country guys, man, but it's just not my thing, man.
Yeah. Um, I really encourage you and everyone else out there. There is a clip from, I think it was the second series of the CMT show called The Outlaws, and it had Merle Haggard, Toby Keith, David Allan Coe, Billy Joe Shaver, Tanya Tucker, a couple other people. But towards the end of the show, they all came on stage and played Working Man Blues. And that was fun to see, Toby Keith and David Allan Coe and Billy Joe Shaver interacting with each other, really fun. And um, David Allan Coe would actually go pop out for a few shows and sing "You Never Gonna Call Me by My Name" with Toby. So really
Nice.
cool.
Yeah, he was an American, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I mean, like that's like he was proud to be an American. Wrote a lot of American songs, and I just he was a guy's guy. Red Solo Cup. That's
Mhm.
not my favorite song. It's but it's not hard not to admit that it's
Catchy as
a
shit.
little catchy as shit. You know what I mean? I mean I've been hammered and sing Red Solo Cup.
Look up.
I
I'll
fill you
fill
up.
you up.
Let's have a party. So yeah,
Yeah.
rest easy, big guy, man. You fought the good fight, man. Last time I seen an interview with him, he looked like I think he said something to the effect of "I'm fighting this, I'm on the upward," and it looks like it got the best of him, man. And that's very unfortunate. Cancer
Yes.
sucks.
Yes, sir.
Hashtag cancer sucks.
Hmm. Well, what have you been listening to this week?
Honestly, man, I was listening to The Sword, and I was listening to um some Tiny Desk concerts I had told you about, man. I went and saw the Scarface one. That's how you ended up with that album. And then the Action Bronson one was really good. And I'm a bit of a fan of his, man. I don't own any of his music. I need to get some, but I'm a bit of a fan of his, and it's because one of the things I really love about musicians, and I'll try to keep this as brief as possible. One of the things I really love about certain musicians is their ability to step out of the music spotlight and step into something else and be somewhat successful. Even if they're not successful at it, they enjoy doing it, like Danzig does with the comic line, or Danzig does with the opera stuff that he does, like Black Araya 1 and 2. You know what I'm saying? Or Henry Rollins doing spoken word, instead of the Rollins band or Black Flag, right? I love seeing musicians who showcase where they have other interests and succeed. And that's something I really, 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 really dig, man. And dude, I'll tell you what, I don't know where the hell I'm going with that. But well, anyways, but there are just artists that, you know, they they don't just stay in the music lane. Does that make sense?
Hmm.
They venture off and try their hand at other things. Like Glenn doing directing and filming and shit. Rob Zombie doing films,
Yep.
I love it when talent does that stuff, and it just shows, you have a bigger mind than just this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah, that's what I mean by that. But yeah, I was listening to a lot of the Sword, um, some Heavy Temple. I've been on a big Heavy Temple kick lately, man. I really, really dig those guys. Um, I meant to sit down and listen to the new Conan stuff that just got released, but I haven't had a chance to listen to it. Uh, there's another band I might be giving you after Black History Month. I'm doing a little bit of a deep dive on these guys. They're a bit along the lines of the Stoner Doom thing,
Mhm.
but man, they're a little more upbeat, and I think that you might even dig these dudes.
All right.
Especially this last album I just listened to, man. I was just like, this is pretty fucking good. So, but the name of that band's called Green Lung.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what I've been checking out into, man. And your album,
There you go.
your album. Oh my God, we still got to talk about your album.
I don't know it. Ugh.
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 Let's talk about this. And once again, mention it is Black History Month,
Yeah.
and we'll be all month long through these shows. We will be trading off some of our favorite artists in the uh, Black community.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Cool.
I'm looking
Hey,
forward
what?
to it, man.
Yeah, me too. Me too. And obviously we pay homage to some of our uh favorite artists. It doesn't matter what month it is. So, but yeah, we really focus this month especially on some of our favorites. So,
Well, hold on. This actually sent a reminder to me. Thank you
that's
so much, man.
what
Just
I'm here
bam,
for.
like a brain fart. Just bam, just exploded up in there. Check this out, dude. Did you see the Grammy? I believe it was at the Grammys where fucking Luke Bryan and Tracy Chapman did Fast Car together. Oh
Absolutely.
my God, was that not amazing, dude? Was that
Yeah,
did not have impact and feeling to it, dude?
I love the reaction that Tracy got,
Yeah.
and I don't think she was expecting it. And
Oh,
you could see the emotion on her face um when when it really kicked into her, like, man, these people love me.
yeah.
uh that was
Dude,
great.
she wrote a song for decades. This song has staying power. This song is relevant today. You know what I'm saying? She
Hmm.
wrote a song and I'm going to be honest with you. Back then, I didn't care for the song,
Right.
but
It wasn't
now
our thing.
it wasn't our thing. But now, I mean, I get it, dude. It's an impactful song, dude, and I find myself singing along to it. Both versions.
Hmm.
I think doing this with Luke Bryan, I sure hope that because Luke Bryan's probably sold billions of this shit, I hope that the royalties have really come through for Tracy Chapman.
Yeah.
Like and that's something else I dig when artists do that. Like do you remember do you remember me giving you the I gave you a one-off album of I Know Somebody I Know You Never Heard of Before. Um had Burned the Flames on it. Rocky Erickson.
Yeah.
So fucking Rocky Erickson was going through some financial straits, and a lot of bands went out and did cover songs and put them on their albums to pay royalties to help him out. Wednesday 13 was one of them.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, cool,
Hey,
good deal, man.
real quick, that was not Luke Bryan that sang that with
Oh,
Tracy
Luke Combs,
Chapman.
Luke Combs.
Luke Combs.
Yeah,
Yep.
sorry about that, Luke Combs. Sorry about that. My bad.
Fucking,
Dude, I'm not the country guy, dude. I don't tell you guys this, man.
you're supposed to be a broadcast professional, for God's sake.
Come on, man. It's no disrespect to the art. It's not that I don't really, it's just not my go-to, man. It's not. If I hear it, it doesn't bother me. It used to when I was younger. No doubt about that. I mean, the closest I got to country back when I was younger was the theme song for Dukes of Hazzard and I love a rainy night. I love a rainy night.
Good song too.
Da, 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 ba, da, ba, da, ba, da, da, ba,
Little
da,
Eddie
da, da,
Rabbit.
da. Oh yeah, dude. Yeah.
Mhm.
I dig some Eddie Rabbit.
Yeah. Hey, what kind of music news you got? What do you got?
Dude, I didn't see much other than it looks like Kerry King's album's getting ready to drop. There's a
Harry King
lot of
from Slayer.
Kerry King from Slayer. His
Mhm.
album's getting ready to drop. There's been a single released. I've heard it. It's pretty good. I really, really dig it. I like the singer on it. I love the guitar work on it, of course. But I will say, from what I've seen in the stuff, man, like there's just I don't know what other than maybe drama.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's the papers feeding into that or the sources feeding into that, but Kerry King hadn't talked to Tom since they did the last Slayer show. No emails, no texts, and Lombardo's dead to him. And like, wow, man.
Yeah, dude. Sad.
Like, and I'm a huge Slayer fan, but I'm not saying that's all there is in the news, but that's all I really saw, and it just looks like just get ready,
Yeah.
because if this is where it's starting, it could get out of hand. Tom could. I don't know that I would see Tom coming out and saying anything. He probably just doesn't even give a shit. But I can't see Dave keeping his fucking mouth shut.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And it's no
Well,
disrespect to any of the guys, man. They all had their opinions. They all made that music together. They all toured and worked their asses off together. You know, I don't know what their dynamic was. I wasn't there. But at the end of the day, I love all of them and I love them all as a unit. I love all versions of Slayer. It's just unfortunate that, I hate seeing bands do the drama thing like the Kiss thing, you know?
yeah.
You know.
Yep.
You know what I'm talking about,
Yep.
dude. It's
And
just
I still love all four of those guys.
dude, I seen David Lee Roth was talking smack again, telling Wolfgang like, "You're not even on the radar. Your album didn't do shit." And I'm like, "Fuck, Dave, stop. Get off the kid. Let him live."
Well, I think this is Dave's attempt to kind of try to clear up his name and all that. I don't think it's serving him any. I don't think it's doing him any good. Um, it,
Dude, Eddie's dead. Why
mhm,
is there still Van Halen drama?
because it wasn't just Eddie. They're all fucked up. Every fucking one of them.
What the
They're
fuck,
all
man?
they're all fucked up. Sammy Hagar is just as cutthroat and full of shit than as Alex Van Halen, as David Lee Roth, and Wolfgang's got his own agenda to protect his dad.
I don't know. It's
They
just
all, they all got their shit.
No, they do. They
Yeah.
do. All right. Well, I believe you have some information regarding birthdays and stuff for us today regarding news.
Yeah, dude. So, right off the rip, today we are recording what, February 6th today. So, happy birthday to old Bob Marley. He was born today in 1945.
New movie coming out about him soon. I'm
Oh,
going to see
sweet.
it. I'm
Yeah,
going to see it.
that'll be fun. We ought to do a special movie review.
You going to go see it?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
All right. Axl Rose, happy birthday to old Axl there.
Happy
Born,
birthday, Axel.
yeah, born in 1962.
One of my favorite bands.
Yeah,
Undisputed. Guns N' Roses, one of the greatest bands of all time.
absolutely. And the only other guy I think you would know would be Gary Moore, from Thin Lizzy.
Yeah.
He died today in 2011.
Brutal.
Yeah. A couple interesting releases. 50 Cent's Get Rich or Die Trying
Huge
was
release.
released today. Mm-hmm.
Huge release.
Mm-hmm. Dylan and the Dead, Bob Dylan and the Grateful Dead came out with a live album on this day in 1989. If you like the Dead or Dylan at all, it's not a great album, but it's cool. I really enjoyed it.
I've heard it.
Yeah.
I am a bit of a Dead fan. People may not know that.
How about that?
I've
I
actually
did
got
not know that.
I actually own a book that has all of their concert dates and where they were.
Okay.
My cousin got it for me.
Nice.
You a Dead fan?
Yeah, I am. Yeah, I like them a lot. And then finally, my cousin, your friend, Loretta Lynn, released You Don't Come Home a Drinking with Lovin' on Your Mind, released today in 1967.
67. Before we were even born.
Well, I was there in spirit.
In spirit.
Uh-huh.
Anyways. And that
is
is the news.
we sync that up great.
That was awesome, dude. I don't know. That wasn't even planned.
Mm-mm.
Cool. All right. Well, it looks like we got a couple album reviews. I am pretty positive I went first last time.
You did, sir. You did.
So I want to hear your review on my album.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hook
So
me up.
hook you up. Here it is. Scarface, The Diary, released in, hold on, October 18th, 1994. This debuted at number 2 on the Billboard 200 and was certified platinum on December 94. So, I mean, quick. This album was a huge, huge hit. I kind of remember the name Scarface back then, but by the time this album really came out, I'd kind of gone through my my gangster rap phase. Like I still listened to the stuff that I already listened to, but I wasn't seeking new shit. So
Right.
I'd kind of moved on, so I didn't know anything really about Scarface other than a name. Um, yeah, this album is definitely one of those essentials um, for the gangster rap genre. This is almost like a concept album, I guess. Yeah, it's a concept album.
It's definitely got a concept feel.
Yeah.
If it's not a concept album, it's got a concept feel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. Let's see. Starts off with a little pretty piano intro, and I was like, okay. I had
you know where that's
no idea.
from?
Uh-uh.
The movie Scarface.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's all
You know,
Scarface.
you know what's funny? I've got that soundtrack, and I didn't even
Yeah.
pick it up.
Can't tell. I know that movie like the back of my fucking hand.
Yeah. It was all right.
Fuck
And
off.
so the intro, real pretty intro, and then starts right up into the white sheet.
Rat-a-tat-tat till your ass hit the motherfucking floor.
Now I'm really surprised that song was not a single. So there's only 2 singles off this album. I Seen a Man Die and Hand of the Dead Body.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the only 2 singles. But man, the white sheet really should have been a single. I mean, radio edited to hell, but
it would have had been. That's probably why it wasn't.
yeah.
Yeah.
Solid. I'm going to consider this the opener because that intro was only a minute and it's just piano. So,
and it leads you into what's going on.
Exactly. Exactly. White Sheet, really solid. I gave it an A. No Tears, I gave that one an A as well. Again, just some solid flow from this dude. Yeah, like I said, I can't believe I never even really heard. I haven't heard anything from this dude.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead, dude.
Next up is Jesse James. I gave that one a B. It was just okay for me.
That's one of my favorites.
That's why I gave it a B.
Come around this motherfucking kick your ass just like Jesse James. That's some cold-blooded shit to say.
Yeah. Yeah. Was that the one that said at the end of it, he had the couple of lines at the end, he said, "You motherfucker, you."
You motherfucker, you.
Was that Jesse
It
James?
might have been.
Okay. Yeah. I like that part of it really,
Yeah.
really. It
How
reminded
did
me of
how are you
Casino
going to give it a B then?
because I forgot. But still, just that's not going to push it up to an A. That's
All right.
good though.
It is good though.
It's good. Next up is G's. I gave that one another B. It was fine.
And when you're rolling through your motherfucking home, tell me what you see. I see some motherfucking G's.
Then we come up on that first single. I Seen a Man Die. That was a single, and I gave it an A. This is really good. That's a really good song.
Yeah.
Really good song. Next up is One. I gave that a B.
We got a bottle of wine. 2. Is that the one?
I think so. Yeah.
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 It's fun.
Yeah. And then probably my favorite. This is probably my favorite song on the album coming up. Going Down. It's got this funky ass instrumentation of 99 Luft Balloons. That's the melody in the song, and he's rapping over it, and it's fucking da 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 da. Da, 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 da. Oh,
Yeah,
dude,
yeah,
it was
dude,
great.
that is probably my favorite track on the album.
Yeah, yeah, mine too.
It's going down tonight.
So yeah, I gave that one an A plus. That was great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Next was One Time. Absolutely, just
Not
I
a
gave it
favorite.
a C. I gave it a C.
Understandable.
Yeah. The second single, Hand of the Dead Body with Ice Cube. I loved Ice Cube's input on this fucking thing. Solid A on this. Solid A on this.
Yeah.
Cube did great. Cube always does great though.
Yeah.
I like him. Mind Playing Tricks on Me. 9 to 4. Yeah. I originally gave that a B, but I think I'm gonna give that an A too.
Yep. That's a classic. It was a Ghetto Boys classic.
Yeah. Yep. That was good. Next is The Diary. Some really cool lyrical content in this song right here.
Is that
was
the one
good.
where he says he's like it sounds like he's in a room with somebody and they're fucking arguing back and forth and he goes, I got you on this rap shit. I got you on this rap shit. And then he just goes, Scarface goes
Yeah.
ape shit. Yeah. Yeah,
Yep.
dude. That if you ever doubt that man's skill, just go ahead and listen to that song. It's freaking insane.
Yep.
What'd you give it?
No, I agree. Gave it an A.
Yeah.
And then again a little outro. That was fine. I think I gave it a B. It was, it was whatever.
Well, it's still part of the Scarface sound or intro and outro.
Yeah.
Yeah. And and I think that was his purpose with the album to make it have those bumpers like the beginning of Scarface and the end of Scarface. Pretty fucking cool. Pretty cool if you ask me. How he was able to get it pulled off from whoever owns the fucking rights to that shit was fucking amazing.
Oh, I know. Great sampling in this. Great reworking of some of this stuff too. Well produced. I don't know who produced the album, but sonically it still sounds really good. Didn't sound dated at all. I'm having a hard time actually giving this a rating. And part of it is because it was kind of a tough listen for me because I just wasn't in that gangsta rap mind frame. I didn't shit all over it. You know what I mean?
But you got to give it a correct rating, a fair rating, man. You need a non-biased
I got to give it
rating.
to what I. Oh, it's all biased. That's why you gave Brad Paisley a mediocre country album.
That's what it sounded like to me, man.
So anyway,
There was listen, if there was
well,
any
that's
song,
because you're
if there
biased.
listen, if there was any song on that
So
album,
my
let,
point is,
let me put no straight up. If there was any song on that album that was playing in a bar, and I do this with country songs, and I go, "Hey, Katie, who sings this?" If there was any song on that album that would have made me do that, aside from the Dolly Parton track, because I would have recognized Dolly's voice.
yeah,
I can't say much. I wasn't dissing the album because it was a good album. There was good guitar
right,
playing and good stuff going on there. It just sounded like your average country album to me. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Not that I wasn't in the headspace for it or anything. I gave it a good, my best listening. There's just nothing I could really say that if I was sitting, I think about the environment that I might catch something like that in, right?
right,
You know what I'm saying? And I
yep,
go, man, if I heard anything like this and I was in this situation, would this catch my ear? And it just doesn't.
yeah. No, I got you. But my point was that all of our ratings are biased.
You're right.
It's that was my point.
I know. I know what the fuck you were getting
Thanks
at.
for hijacking. What the fuck?
Cheers.
Anyway, salute. I'm gonna give this thing. I'm gonna give it a. I'll give it an 8. I'm not gonna listen to more Scarface, but I really enjoyed the album.
All right.
I thought it was a really good um, album for that genre. I just wasn't totally feeling it this week. Um, but yeah, I think he deserves all the credit and all the respect in the world.
Do you know what they call Scarface?
No,
He is your favorite rapper's favorite rapper.
yeah, I get that.
Yeah. Because he is just a master of his art.
Yeah,
I implore you, when you get the chance, go watch his Tiny Desk concert
okay.
and tell me you can't like, man, that's
Send me the link.
that's cool as fuck. I will. And dude, he's only doing like 4 or 5 songs. And
Okay,
he doesn't like he does the first the first run of fuck faces, but cuts it off after that.
okay, okay.
And but I think he does Never Seen a Man Cry.
Very cool.
Cool. It's a very cool thing, man. Like
Yeah,
that's what made me think to give you the album, you know.
yeah. Now, was this his best album?
In my opinion, yes.
Okay,
There
best
was only
selling album.
maybe
Okay,
maybe but that's you got to understand, man, that was a big year. 94, like you're talking the years of 92 to 96 were major years for hip hop and
yeah,
art and rap. There were major years. You had so much come out during that time frame. I mean, this album dropped right after I was supposed to graduate from high school.
yeah.
Yeah, right after you were
That's
supposed to graduate from high school.
yeah. We graduated in June, '94, and this came out in October. So yeah,
Dude, and I was at that, but see, at that point, what you don't understand is I had been listening to fucking Scarface when he was in the Ghetto Boys long before this album fucking dropped. And
right.
I can tell you, pull your phone up if you don't mind, please,
Yeah.
or whatever you're looking at. Pull up Bushwick Bill, Phantom of the Rapra.
Okay.
Now, Bushwick was with the Ghetto Boys too, but they all branched
Right.
off, did their own solo stuff, and every once in a while they would get back together and do another fucking album. Now, what year did that album drop?
Second. Let's see. This thing came out in '95,
Okay, so
July 11th.
you had Scarface in October.
Mm-hmm.
The very following July, you had fucking uh Bushwick.
Bushwick.
you would have Willie D's album drop at some point in time, and I know that fucking Big Mike's album dropped, which was the album that had Having Things on it. These were huge fucking albums. If you had been listening to members of and shit from the Ghetto Boys for all those years, like look up what is Ghetto Boys the Resurrection? What year did that drop? I want to say that's 92 or 93.
Okay, hold on.
No. Fuck, is it the Resurrection? No, that's not what I'm thinking. Ghetto Boys. Oh, I need the albums. Give me the albums. Give me the albums. Give me the fucking albums.
Let's see. Making Trouble.
Till Death Do Us Part dropped in 93.
Uh-huh.
So Scarface is that so till death dropped us till Death Do Us Part dropped in 93, and it had what was the fucking 6 Feet Deep on it. Huge hit for them guys. Big fucking thing. One of my favorite tracks on the album is called This Dick's For You. But anyways, I believe there's an album that was written for or a song on here that was written for South Central because it describes the movie South Central to a fucking T, and it's called
Okay.
Street Life. Now this dropped in 93. Scarface dropped in 94. Fucking Bushwick dropped in 95. And I know Willie D and Big Mike had shit go on between that time. Dude, let me tell you something. Huge fucking impact on this. Like when people talk about South style rap, they
Yeah.
think T.I., fucking Lil Jon, Ying Yang Twins, all them boys down south. Now, original down south to me was the Ghetto Boys and all that Houston sound that came up out of there. Then
Gotcha.
you had some shit that come out of Florida that was like Nemesis and fucking Half Pint and shit like that. Big bass shit, huge. Like Florida was a huge impact on the bass scene. Man, I could go on about this shit. I'm sorry. I like I really could, man.
Yeah.
And I'm not to say that I'm a historian and I know everything there is to know about hip hop or R&B or any of that shit, man. I just know I've loved it for many years. Like I remember hearing fucking get like the first Ghetto Boys album was absolutely amazing. The first LL Cool J album that I had heard, Bigger and Deffer, I gave you that album,
Yep.
was just mind blowing to me. You know, you remember, and I know you remember because this was our time. You remember fucking Tone Loc, Funky Cold Medina and shit. That shit was huge when we fucking was growing up.
Yep.
You know, and this is what rap was, but you got to remember it eventually evolved, and then because the nature of rap was speaking of what was going on in the streets. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And then we started seeing the fucked up shit through gangster rap, cops whipping motherfuckers' asses and all that other shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, dude, I'll tell you what, man. I can't say I remember its inception because I wasn't listening to Sugar Hill Gang long before I heard LL Cool J and all that other shit. But I
Yeah.
can tell you when I heard hip hop and R&B and shit, I've loved it. Sorry, I don't mean to ramble. I should do my album review.
Yeah. See, go ramble over in your review.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, dude. I mean, you know what? It is Black History Month.
I'm just playing.
And you know what? I'm just trying to give love to the art. You know, if I was going to give you another album, you know, I may save this album for next year, but I think you should listen to KRS-One's Return of the Boom Bap.
Okay.
He's not a lot of people are aware of him unless you really know hip hop. And this guy is the man, the fucking man. Like you and see, that's one thing I can really say about you is you appreciate flow.
Yeah.
You know, if MF Doom, like if you didn't see what was going on with MF Doom flow wise,
Mhm.
yeah,
Oh yeah, there'd been something wrong with it.
there would be something wrong with you, man. It's just he's absolutely amazing. You went right out and bought an album,
Hmm.
so
Solid.
solid. Sorry to keep you guys waiting. Let's go ahead and get into my review. I apologize about that. I tend to do that sometimes. The London Howlin' Wolf Sessions is the album that I had. This is a Howlin' Wolf album that featured Bruce. You want to bring him up? We had a little further up, sirs. We had Eric Clapton, Steve Winwood, Bill Wyman, and Charlie Watts that appeared on this thing. And when I first received this album from Bruce, because he's given me some blues album before, I kind of expected to hear more banter back and forth, like with the uh, Stevie
The
Ray
In
Vaughan,
Session. Yep.
the In Session with Stevie Ray Vaughan. But there wasn't really a lot, if any, on the album. There was maybe like one section where they did this on a track called Red Rooster False Start, which was pretty cool because you were actually listening to how they were trying to work out how they were going to actually do the song and record it.
Yeah.
And I'll get into that here in a second, but let's start off with the opener, Rockin' Daddy. This to me was just not a strong opener. Is it a good song? Yes. Is it a strong opener? Not in my opinion. But
Yeah.
I gave it a B. Um, the next song, I Ain't Superstitious. This could have been the opener. I gave this one an A. I thought it was just a really groovy song. And you're going to hear me say that a lot about this album. This album is really, really, really groovy. And I'm going to get to that here in a bit. Um, I Ain't Superstitious. This really should have been the opener. I probably could have appreciated Rockin' Daddy if it was in second a little more, but it's just not a strong opener. Sitting on Top of the World. I gave this one an A. Really like the guitar solo in this. If you get the chance, man, there's real good playing going on right there. We get into the world about or worried about my baby. This just is it a good song? Yes. Is it a great song? Not in my opinion. So once again, I'm going to give this one a B. It just didn't really sit as high in high regard with
Hmm.
me as the rest. What a Woman. I love this. I absolutely love this. I found this was funny. This gets a solid A. There's a lot of tongue in cheek in this album. And one thing I've learned when I've been listening to blues is these guys are singing about real problems and how they feel, but there's always some kind of tongue in cheek in it at the end of the day. So, yeah, I'm bummed out, but here I am with my guitar and fuck it. Oh well, it's fucking it is what it is. And I really, really love that about the blues. Um Poor Boy. That one is a solid A.
Hmm.
And man, I just want to use these three words. When listening to the song Poor Boy, feel that shit. That song has a lot of feeling, a lot of feeling. I gave it that got a solid A. Built for Comfort. This is probably one of my favorite tracks on the album. Absolutely
Yeah.
love this song. Um, this is just a great. It is tongue in cheek, but it's such a really really cool song. Like you have to hear it. It's just a oh man, it's probably my favorite track on the album.
I ain't built.
Um,
I ain't built for speed. I'm built for comfort.
I ain't built for speed. I'm built for comfort. I love it. Who's been talking? This is another one that kind of dropped off, man. Just not a bad song, not a
Yeah.
great song. It's a B. Um, Red Rooster. If I have to rate it, it's a B. It's them working out the song. It's kind of cool, but when you get to the song's an absolute A. An absolute A. Red Rooster's absolute A. Do the Do. Another solid A, absolute solid A. Highway 49, this song, very, very groovy. Once again,
Mhm.
another fucking A. Um, Wang Dang,
Wang dang doodle.
Wang dang doodle. I gave this an A plus and an asterisk and said this is an absolute killer closer.
Yeah.
This is a solid, solid, solid album. Now, please don't be taken back by my rating. Of this album, there are 13 tracks. Of those 13 tracks, 4 are are B's, and the rest are A's, and there's a couple A pluses in there for me. I'm rating this album on what I would do with this album. I can't say that this is an album that I'm going to run to and decide I'm going to play. However, if it's Sunday morning and I'm cooking breakfast and I play a lot of more mafia style hits during that time, Dean Martin and Old Blue Eyes, this would be something I would turn on for that. Just to have something in the background, kind of groovy, easy to listen to, fun, you know. But it's just not that thing I'm going to go listening to when I want to go take a long drive or, and it would be good for a long drive. I'm not going to say that it's not. I like it a lot. However, I just know that this is not one of those albums that I'm going to seek out. And I do want to say this, for not having a big reference with Howlin' Wolf, I absolutely love being introduced to him. And it's because of my rating that when I do a little further dive in blues, which I do every so often, he'll be the next guy I check out. And he's been on the list, but he's been bumped up. So
Yeah.
with that being said, solid album. I'm giving this fucker 8.25.
There you go. I thought you would rank it a little bit lower. Um, um, to your point, for me, this is not an everyday album. This is not an album full of like radio hits and shit like that. But I think what this is a great uh time capsule of a really cool recording session of just some absolute legends just being there in the moment and working out a quick album out 3 days. You know, um, I know you're not too familiar, but Little Red Rooster. It was fascinating for me to hear them work that intro part out, because many people have played that song over the years, and the intro's way different than how Howlin' Wolf wants it. So that's why those other guys were kind of thrown off by the rhythm of that intro, because it's different. It's way different than they've probably ever played it. So that was pretty cool to see or listen to. I found Rockin' Daddy was a great opener, but yeah, Superstitious, that would have been another great opener for me. Um, all in all, I'm right with you. I'm probably at 8.5 for this album. Um, it's not a perfect album, but man, it's a really cool piece of history.
So like let me think about this. You know what I mean? Imagine you and Rhea, right?
Mm-hmm.
You guys are sitting there down there in the basement where you got your record thing
Mm-hmm.
playing. You got this album spinning in the background, and you
Mm-hmm.
guys are sitting there playing cards or something.
Mm-hmm.
This is that album.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
easy to listen to. It's not going to offend anybody. It's just a solid album.
Mm-hmm.
Is it a 10? Not in my opinion.
No.
Is it a 9? Still not in my opinion. Is it a bad album? Not by any fucking means.
Mm-hmm.
All the players are there. We've
Mm-hmm.
discussed this before. Good
And
album.
yeah,
album.
and again, that Rolling Stones rhythm section, just fucking bass play. Bill Wyman, I'm telling you, what an underrated bass player.
How they pulled this together and what they created is a nice piece of work.
Yep.
An absolutely nice piece of work. And if I was a blues collector, this would be something I would consider something that would probably, be close to essential in my collection.
Yeah.
You know.
No,
So
I definitely find this essential because it's just such a cool piece.
now,
Just such a cool
how'd you
piece.
find out about this album?
I literally I was in the record store and it was in there new to the store. Uh and I was like, holy shit, I've never seen this before. And so I got it because I was like, fuck. It's on Chess Records. The defunct, Chess Records was the premier blues label of the, up through the 60s into the 70s. And so that was piece number one. Piece number two, it had two of the Stones on it, plus Eric Clapton, plus I'm a huge Howlin' Wolf fan. So all that together, I'm like, I've never even heard this before.
Well, I will say this. Thank you for turning me on to the album. I'm
Yeah.
sorry that you won't seek out any more Scarface, but you should really check out some Ghetto Boys. And I wouldn't suggest on a personal level
Mm-hmm.
for you to go running out and looking for every Scarface album there is. If there was another Scarface album you'd like to check out, conference me in. I'll let you know a couple good ones that are as good as the Diary, or just a little under. But
Yeah.
nothing, in my opinion, is going to be better than Diary. And
Yeah.
there's Ghetto Boys albums that, dude, I can't say there's a Ghetto Boys album I don't like.
Yeah. For me, for this genre of music, it's more of an emotional tie. It was some of the shit I was listening to as a kid. So part of the rub on Scarface is I don't have an emotional tie to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, am I gonna seek out Easy Does It? Yeah. I love that album.
See, they were doing it on the West Coast, man. These guys were doing
I
it on the South Side.
I get it. I get it. I'm just saying from an emotional level, Easy E is up here. And when I'm in the mood for that old gangster shit, that's where I'm going.
Gangsta,
Then
Easy's up here for me too, dude. There's no doubt
yeah,
about that. All right. He
and
is
then
what original gangster rap is.
yep, and then um, Cube and Snoop right here. You know,
Oh,
Scar.
so what you're saying is you want to name your top five. Give me your top five in hip hop and rap.
I don't have five.
Give me your five. You've got five.
I don't.
I guarantee you do.
I don't.
I guarantee you do.
I promise you, I don't.
What about Heavy D and the Boys?
That's R&B.
It's still hip hop artist, dude. That dude's still
All right.
transitioned hip
All right.
hop. Come on now.
All right. So okay. So Easy, Heavy D, um, Dre, Snoop, then Cube.
For you.
Ooh, wait a minute. I'm gonna take Cube out of there, and I'm gonna put in Tupac.
Okay.
That's tough, but that's where I'm
That's
going.
tough. For me, Tupac. Scarface.
Scarface top three.
LL Cool J. KRS-One.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's in no particular order. I love them all equally. And trust me, I can't reign any of those guys supreme. If I had to say the lyrical master of all of them, it'd be KRS-One. He's
Okay.
just on a different level, man. He is everything that envelops the essence of hip hop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. You know he turned down the Grammys. Yeah, we'll
Did
fucking
he?
be with that shit, dude. 50 years of fucking. He turned down the opportunity to be in that big hip hop 50 years of hip hop thing.
Wow.
50 years, and now you want to do something? Now you want to make something? I ain't being part of that shit. That's why there wasn't some of the most major stars on that show.
Yeah. Yep.
It was cool that LL was there. I mean, don't get me wrong, but
No,
I
I
would have
get
loved
it.
to seen KRS-One come out and throw down. Yeah,
Maybe next year. Maybe for
yeah.
51.
Who knows? Who knows?
Yeah.
We'll see.
All right. Well,
All
you
right,
ready to give me an album?
you ready to give me an album?
Absolutely.
I think you're scared.
I ain't scared. I ain't
You're
scared to
always
nothing.
scared. You've always been scared. Do you
All
remember
right, my
that
friend.
time
Hmm?
when, you know, that time?
That time.
Nah. All right, give me your album.
All right, buddy. This is actually compliments of my wife.
Oh no.
Oh yeah.
So, and let me ask you something. Are you
Yeah,
familiar with this album?
I am.
Okay, as long as you're familiar with it,
I forgot about this album.
let's give it to me.
All right, buddy. You, my friend, you are getting the Isley Brothers Eternal.
You know what's funny?
Hmm.
I've been sitting here thinking, um, about those bands of these eras, and
Mhm.
while I'm familiar with a lot of their hits, I really want to give you a Cool Gang album, man, but I don't know that I can give you a greatest hits album that's actually available. You know, it just it's one thing or the other. And Cool and the Gang was a big impact on me. I saw him like 4 or 5 fucking times, man. You know,
That's one of David Lee Roth's favorite bands.
really, dude, you don't understand.
He wanted them to open up for Van Halen.
Really,
Yeah, and I think they did.
you know what? I think they did too.
Yeah,
I think they did
for
too.
different kind of truth tour.
Huh? Nice,
Hmm.
nice. All right, so the Isley Brothers Eternal. Are you ready for my album?
Yes, sir.
All right, we are going to, as of this evening, increase your interplanetary funksmanship, which only the terrestrial brotherhood can make that happen, man. You ready?
Yeah.
You are getting Parliament Funkadelic,
Hmm.
the Mothership Connection.
Okay.
Now, this is an essential album for me. This will always be one of my favorite Parliament albums, if not my favorite Parliament album.
Okay.
This is
Would
a
you
go ahead.
would you put this above Maggot Brain? Even though that's strictly Funkadelic.
The song Maggot Brain supersedes everything Funkadelic has ever done, in my personal opinion.
Okay.
Okay. It's just
Okay.
if you ask me my favorite song from Funkadelic, it's going to be Maggot Brain. If you ask
Okay.
me my favorite guitar solo, no matter what, it'll always be Maggot Brain.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sweet.
So Mothership Connection, man, have fun with that one. It's a lot of fun, man. It's a lot of fun. I remember I got turned on to that album back in my senior year of high school.
Okay.
My neighbor turned me on to it. His name was Jimmy Jam. Uh, Probably smoked my first blunt with that dude. Yeah,
To
hilarious.
be 10 years old again.
Shit, I wasn't. I was a senior in high school. Fuck off.
That's right.
All right, homie.
All
Well,
right.
listen, man, this has been a blast. If you like what you see here, please like, comment, subscribe. Please leave us a comment. Say something. We want to hear from you. We want to know that you're out there watching the show, all 13 of you viewers. With that being said, Bruce, got anything to say for this evening?
No, thanks again, everyone, for joining us. And yeah, we love you guys.
We absolutely do. So until next time, we will see you guys later. I'm Tone. That's Bruce. See ya.